We're going to talk today about the interior angles of a triangle and what they have as a total sum. So before we get started, we need to remember some facts about parallel lines. So I'm going to make a line and a line that's parallel to that. And we should recall that if I create a transversal line, I create some angles that are congruent. Specifically, alternate interior angles are what we're going to focus on today. So I have an alternate interior angle with another alternate interior angle, and those two should always be congruent. So no matter how I move my lines around, as long as they're parallel, those two angles will always be the same measure. So we're going to call them some special names. We're going to call this one A, and we'll call this one angle D. Okay, so far I have shown that angles A and D are congruent because they are alternate interior angles. All right, so now our triangle is going to come into play. So I'm going to sketch our triangle on here between our parallel lines. So now I've got this blue triangle, and what I should notice is that I have actually created some more alternate interior angles. So now I have another angle in my triangle and another angle outside of my triangle, but note that it's still adjacent to my triangle. And once again, these angles are always congruent. No matter how I move my triangle around, those two are always the same. So let's call them something special. Let's make this one angle B, and this one we'll call angle E. Okay, so I've got two pairs of alternate interior angles, and then I have a third angle in my triangle down here at the bottom, smack dab in the center. And that one's just kind of its own thing. But notice that it can be thought of as being part of the triangle with A and B, and it can also be thought of as being part of this line that's formed by D and that angle and E below. So I'm going to call this one angle C. And so far I have shown that A and D are congruent. I've also shown that angles B and E are congruent. And now I'm talking about how angles DC and E form a line. And that tells us that they are supplementary. And supplementary means that they have a sum of 180 degrees. So from there, since I know that D, C, and E add up to 180, and I know that A and D are the same, so I could replace D with A, and I know that B and E are the same, so I could replace E with angle B. I then am showing that if D, C, and E are 180, then A, C, and B must also be 180. So I now know that angles A, C, and B are also supplementary, which means they have a sum of 180 degrees. So there you have it. We've shown that the angles inside of a triangle must add up to 180 degrees. And again, no matter how I move this line or these corners or this triangle around, those three angles are always going to make a straight line. And that means that my three angles in my triangle are always going to add up to 180. Thanks for watching.